Greetings, Flesh Wound Horror Freaks, and welcome to Flesh Wound Horror Live. I'm Flesh Wound Dan, joined by producer Todd.
Good evening.
And Mike Kruger.
Welcome to prime time, bitch. What the fuck was that? That was our fireworks. Come on, Dan, get hyped.
No, I mean, I was expecting a little more boom.
I know, I perfectly went the other way.
Well, yeah, all right. Yeah, I was like waiting. I was like, oh shit. Well, that's
the fireworks I find when I'm doing it in like 2 minutes. So.
Yeah, that's the fireworks you pick up in the hood for like $1.50, and they fucking half go off.
Well, we are kind of like the hood podcast. So we're kind of holding it all together.
Some horror YouTuber of the month. We are. Yes, guys. Just to get that out of the way first.
You want some celebration music?
Yeah, well, I guess so.
You motherfucker. I thought I'd never have to hear that stupid shit again.
Well, that is like one of the greatest. I love that song. I'm not even being funny. I thought that was great. Always stuck in my head after all.
No.
You gotta listen to the whole thing, though.
So bad.
Oh, it's good. I love it. But anyways, guys, yes, we won Horror YouTubers of the Month. Thank you so much. A ton of you voted, and we really appreciate it. You in the chat, along with we had Todd Farmer voted for us. I mean, how cool is that? Joe Castro. We had other podcasts that voted for us. We really appreciate you. And we weren't the biggest channel going into that, so it's a pretty cool victory. And shout out to the other nominees. As I said, sub to them all. They're all great. And guys, we really appreciate it very, very much. So we will, in the coming days, have our nominations video and our official thank you video and all that good stuff. So keep an eye out for it. It won't be too long. And we really appreciate you. So I just to talk about it briefly. And hey, Jeff, Ben, Zombie, Ghost, all of you guys, Kendrick in the chat.
What's up?
Welcome. I've been doing this for like 13 years now, but we are still newish to YouTube. Wasn't sure how it would go at first. You know, you get kind of used to doing your show from a phone back in the old audio days. And the change was a little nerve-wracking. So I think we've come a long way in these. What are we? A few years now, Todd? What's the official?
I know you asked me when we started, like not too long ago, and I had the exact date. If you really want to give me 2 seconds, because I know what show it was.
That's cool. Not long. I think definitely.
Well, I was doing it April 9th, 2020.
There you go. So basically, you've been hanging through the old coof with us and bad times, but hopefully we provided some good times. I've certainly discovered a lot of channels myself during that period. So guys, it means a lot. We really do appreciate it very much. And we encourage you to vote for our upcoming nominees. I think that will be a lot of fun. I won't give anything away now, but check it out. That'll be coming soon.
And Dan picks the. Also, shout out to Pitt for voting for us, and also Pitt he turned in his extras today for Christmas Cruelty. We can't wait to see him.
Yep.
Yes, another.
Forward to that.
Another, yes, keep your eyes out for the Unearthed Films Blu-ray of the slasher film Christmas Cruelty. If you're new to that, we will be all over that Blu-ray release. I'm excited. That's cool.
Technically, I'll earn my name too, Producer Todd. So
Producer Todd, yes. So that will be coming out sometime this year. Good Christmas slasher. You might as well check that out.
I'm sure we'll be reviewing the Blu-ray too.
Yes,
for sure.
We'll definitely have them back on to talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the reviews. It's just like we need more of that handsome bearded guy in the hat. You know, the people unfamiliar.
Who said we were letting you on that one, Dan?
Fucked up, Todd. So anyways, yes. Okay. Another cheap plug. Also, trying to get through these plugs so we can get to the movies. We're going to also be live tonight with our All the Boys Love Mandy Lane commentary. Figured it made sense today. We will also have a Johnny Depp one later, so we'll try and equally rip on both of them. And
if you're a Patreon, check your inbox if you want to watch along with us tonight too. So
yes. So yeah, that will be coming. When are we going live, Todd? Shortly after this. I'll just say that. For
5 minutes after we're done here.
All right, yeah. So
as soon as we're done, Dan will have to go use the bathroom and wash his hat, and then we'll go.
Yeah. They don't have to wash it. I just, spray some Axe, freshen it up, Todd.
You're one of those.
He is. Yeah. I took like 3 weeks for the smell of Axe body spray to get out of the room he was staying in.
All right, bullshit artist.
Swear to God, Dan, I will go get my mom unprompted.
That's fucked up. I buy it because I need it in the airport. So yes, I had a thing of Axe.
So wait,
fucking shoot me. It's the chocolate stuff. It smells great.
I had a headache for weeks.
That's fucked up, Todd. Mocking that. All right. Well, fine. I will just be like reeking.
Dan likes smelling
the next time I'm in your car.
Dan likes smelling like a junior high locker room.
That's fucked up. Shitting on me already.
I'm shitting on the Axe body spray.
It's not all right. Let me go to the chat here because fuck it. You got to wait on the review now. All right, guys. Is there anything wrong with the chocolate Axe body spray? Come on.
I wasn't specifying flavors or scents. Dad calls them flavors because he licks them and tastes. But we'll see. They can comment on the Axe body spray in there. Why don't we jump into our first review?
Well, no, we got to settle this. The chocolate specifically. That smells really nice.
I don't know which kind you had when you were here.
It's chocolate. I have it now somewhere. I can go grab one. It's chocolate. Well, it's great.
Dan.
I also wear cologne, Todd. So.
Oh my God, that's what was wrong. We got fucking cologne on top of Axe body spray.
What's wrong with cologne?
You're probably using scented aerosol deodorant too.
Yeah, I do not use that Axe rub-on deodorant.
This sounds like pussy repellent 401.
That's not what the ads say. Axe took them out. No. Wow. But anyways, yes. So don't be disparaging the good name of Axe, sir. That's going to be our next sponsorship, but they're only going to want me. So,
I wouldn't be able to lie.
All right. Well, fuck you, Todd. Let's get into the first film of the evening.
We only have good sponsors.
Axe is awesome. All right, fine. Go and you'll shit yourself when I get an Axe sponsorship. All right. All right. So our first film of the evening from director Sarah Appleton and Philip S. Scott is a documentary, The Found Footage Phenomenon, a Shudder original. The Found Footage Phenomenon is an independent documentary charting the origins of the found footage subgenre, tracking it through to the technique's current form, and asking what the future is. All right. So I have to say, Todd, I was actually very impressed with this doc because it wasn't just telling us the same shit we already know about Blair Witch and Paranormal Activity. Of course, they do talk about those, but
well, yeah, you can't not in a found footage show. And I'm sorry, I got to pull this up real quick. Kendrick, I think body spray makes you smell like you've been drinking all day.
What the fuck? No, it doesn't. It's chocolate. What does that have to do about drinking?
Ben, he uses Black Panther cologne. Works 100% of the time, 80% of the time.
That's messed up. You're all a bunch of liars. You use Axe. Come on. It's
like convenient. When I was like 12.
No, I never have. It didn't come out till I was already an adult, so I can't say I wouldn't have when I was 12 either.
Well, it's still good in your 30s too.
But I don't want to talk
Yeah.
about Dan's found footage
Yeah, I
axe
know.
movie he's working on.
It's gonna happen.
He's just gonna
so-
take the axe and spray it with some fucking a lighter.
There you go. Can be a smell gimmick.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
We need some of that William Castle razzle dazzle in the theater again.
I won't argue with that, but
The Axe body spray murders Giallo. Oh, that's awesome. Can
okay,
add like an
I'm
American
gonna get on to
black glove and Axe body spray.
but the problem would be every time he got too close, they'd smell him.
Well, I know that's a dangerous approach. Here.
That would be like what the cops would be fucking coming to the crime scene to be like, what the fuck is that?
Okay, you know what? I think we better save the rest of this idea because
Yeah, back to the found footage phenomenon.
All right, found footage. So early on, I really appreciated focusing also on other things. They really kind of dive into the roots of the found footage genre and the epistolary horror novel Dracula, of course. Some of the really early Peeping Tom from 1960, kind of an early film to involve the camera and what was happening on screen. A really good overview. The Mondo films, a lot of precursors to found footage as we know it. And I was very, very impressed with this. I think this guy gave a great overview. We're probably going to talk a little bit in general here about found footage movies we love, but one that they covered that to me never gets a lot of love outside of the extreme horror circles is Hate Crime. James Cullen Bressick. I always thought that one was really effective, obviously on the rougher side.
Unearthed Films.
Unearthed Films also. Yes.
They need to do a Blu-ray of that. I would buy that instantly.
This might help because I bring that movie up a lot and people are like, oh, well, where can I get it? And yeah, it's ripe for a Blu-ray.
On a Roku channel, there's actually like a streaming app called POV Horror. And they had it on there. That's actually how I originally watched it. It's cheap. It's like $6 a month, and they put like new found footage stuff up all the time. Ben Grimm said the first half of this basically covered the same stuff in the same interviews as that Unknown Origins doc about paranormal activity. See, I hadn't seen that one, so maybe that was better off that I had going in.
There was definitely some overlay. So
I think this had enough extra for me because I really do. Also, McPherson tape, which was unknown for such a long time. Like nobody talked about McPherson tape before the Vinegar Syndrome Blu-ray. I loved seeing that. Also, Last Broadcast, which predated Blair Witch Project. I'm going to be revisiting that one soon when the Blu-ray. I get the Blu-ray later this month. So.
I had only seen it once, and I remember just not being like really big on it.
Yeah,
and that's the one that starts off as a Jersey Devil thing, right? Or am I thinking of something else?
No, I'm pretty sure that's the Jersey Devil one. I haven't rewatched it yet either. I have the Blu-ray, but I just haven't watched it.
Yeah, I think I was more pissed off because no Jersey Devil popped up, but I have the same problem with Blair Witch. That's why I actually kind of like the remake a little bit better, but we can get into that later.
I'm a part 2 guy, so
fair enough. I haven't watched part 2 since I had just watched Blair Witch, and I watched part 2, and I was like, this sucks. I wanted more found footage, but
yeah, that's the thing. A lot of people were really not were like.
I was happy they talked, a good decent amount about, Rogerio Diodato's Cannibal Holocaust too, because obviously that is super influential in the found footage genre. And like, I swear, just listening to Diodato talk about Cannibal Holocaust or any of his cannibal movies or just his production on his films in general, I could listen to that motherfucker talk for hours and hours and hours. Like that Diodato Holocaust wasn't even enough for me. Like I needed more.
The end of that is so hilarious when he gets mad.
I'm very mad at you. Wouldn't it be funny if he hauled off and hit one of them? That might be the best.
That was
ever.
the gimmick to the doc, or the doc at the beginning was like, oh, the film crew wasn't found. They just found the footage of their interview with Diodato. But yeah, that was really cool. And I'm glad that they gave that movie more props than, they were bitching about, the animal deaths and stuff. But they probably should have mentioned that the animals were fed to the tribe members. That probably would have been a good detail to include in there, because it is a big detail for me. I mean, at least they didn't go to waste.
Yeah, they were going to do it anyway.
Yeah,
I've had the pleasure of meeting a bunch of the Italian masters, a lot that I wish I could have met, but they all seem to have tempers. Sergio Martino doesn't seem to.
You're Italian, man. You should understand this.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw Ruggiero get mad at a guy in line when I met him in Toronto who was complaining about prices, and I got a free extra signature for that. So I thought that was really funny. And he was pissed too. I was like, oh wow, I can kind of see. I wish I could have watched Fulci yell at somebody on set. If I could go back in time, that'd be one of the top 10.
Dan's got that calm German attitude.
I don't know what that's supposed to mean. I'm very calm. I don't even get mad when people shit talk my choice of body spray. I'm very cool. Cool as a cucumber, Todd. Always.
Shout out to them talking about August Underground briefly. Like, I would have preferred more, but the fact that it got mentioned, I did appreciate a lot, because I mean, I think in the found footage genre alone, if you're just looking for something to shock you and like just kind of make you feel dirty, August Underground is the perfect trilogy to check out. I mean, as far as, and it's one of the more regarded extreme films and like, extreme horror movie buffs too. And yeah, Fred Vogel also is a very, very nice man. I love that guy. Really cool dude. And he was when Texas Chainsaw Massacre came out this year, he had a bunch of cool Gunnar Hansen stories he was talking about online. So follow him. He's really cool. And he's still doing filmmaking. He just made what was it? Like Interview with a Serial Killer or some type of movie like that looked pretty cool. So
I'd be curious if he'd ever revisit August Underground. He probably hard, but
yeah, I mean, he like when he was talking about those movies, he said, it wasn't, he had to have a very niche, cast of people, considering how graphic and fucked up they get. And now that they're older, like I know his wife was helping him out a lot with them. I don't know if they want to put themselves through that. I think they may have kids now, so things may be a little bit different. But he did mention that because a certain anniversary for August Underground is coming up, they will be announcing maybe something soon. So I don't know. That could be in Blu-ray, another Blu-ray release, which I know that's long out of print and you can't find them anywhere. For a decent price, at least.
I got it at Grindhouse Video, and I'm glad I did.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest, and I need to revisit those too. There's a lot of screaming, and by that I mean it actually gets a little bit draining after a while, because there's a lot of fucking screaming.
It's music to my ears, Dan.
Well,
I'll tell you this: like, I have like an advanced copy of Chaos that I love, because the volume's unmixed. So the screaming's just so like in your face.
Yeah.
It makes it. Yeah. My wife hates that one. That is.
Well, no shit, Todd.
She ran out of the room. She like was asleep. She woke up to the sounds of it, ran out of the room to the bedroom.
That's hilarious. That was that's actually my fiance's introduction to you, Todd, was giving me Chaos. And I was like, oh, we're gonna watch this. She liked it too. So
well, speaking of likes, also Afflicted. I was glad they covered that one here a little bit. I don't know if you remember that. It was the vampire one.
Yeah, and the guy's got like cancer, right? And he's like dying. Yeah, that was interesting. I saw it when it first came out. I remember liking it, but I don't really remember a lot of it. It was when they were showing the clips from Jerusalem. I was getting those two kind of mixed up together because I think they came out around the same time.
Yeah. I remember like just being kind of like, I don't know. And that was a very pleasant surprise when I sat down to watch it. I was like, oh, that they handled that quite well. And that's also something the doc goes over, your cheaper found footage stuff versus the big budget, high concept stuff, things like Cloverfield, of course.
I got an omission that I'm not happy about. We'll see if anyone.
There's a few.
I'm going to see if you can guess which one I'm annoyed at. Not right now. I'm at the end. Dave.
Yeah. Frankenstein's Army, another really cool one.
I actually haven't seen that. I've heard I would love it.
Oh yeah, in terms of some of the creature effects in there, I say that's a safe bet.
Troll Hunter, dude. Troll Hunter, I was so happy they talked about too. I honestly think that's one of the best found footage genre, like as far as like monster found footage movies. That's like I think it's even better than Cloverfield, to be honest with you. And I love Cloverfield. The one thing I was a little bit disappointed they didn't talk about with Cloverfield though, and they did go into it with Blair Witch though, is like Cloverfield had this website and like a really cool online thing going on for the campaign of the movie. And I kind of wish they would have went a little bit more depth in that, because like it was like I feel like it was a good year and a half. They had a website up and they would just post little tiny snippets of something or a little like newspaper article and just trying to figure out what this fucking monster looked like was like the big thing online, because some people were curious if it was a Godzilla movie. Like that was a big thing. People thought it was going to be a found footage Godzilla film. People thought, it was really cool being a fan and like looking forward to that movie at that time, because you had all this cool online shit going on. Every week you would go on, there would be a new clue popping out about this creature. Granted, it hyped it a little, maybe too much. I mean, I like the Cloverfield creature, but he isn't fucking, the second coming of Godzilla like it was made out to be. But being a fan during that time, really cool stuff.
Yeah, I remember those promos. Those were cool.
You think we could get away with a New Nightmare sort of format where it's like Matthew Broderick, Hank Azaria, Gene Reno going up against the real Godzilla as themselves? They made the worst Godzilla ever, and now they have to tangle with the real fucking deal. Yeah, just Godzilla going to kill them. God damn, I'm a fucking genius. That's damn, and I put that out into the world.
That would be pretty fucking funny, to be honest with you. I would pay to watch it just to, but the only way I would like be completely sold is you have to have the guy who plays Leon fucking be like the hero.
Gene Reno.
Yeah. You have to have him save the whole story and like have the story focused on him, because like that makes me so mad that watching Godzilla 98 and now like I just recently watched Leon the Professional, and like knowing that was my introduction to that actor pisses me off so bad. Ben Grimm said, I remember when Cloverfield came out, it had a lot of hype, saw it opening night and crowd was pumped. Yeah, I was, dude, I saw that movie literally 8 times in the movie theater. Like I was so into it. And like, I wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything because, there's so much going on. There's like little tidbits that you'll miss within the first viewing, and then the second you'll start. By the third, I had everything down, but I was showing like all my friends it was really cool because found footage was kind of in at that time. It was one of those things that was starting to come back, and everybody wanted to see what that genre was going to entail for people. And I think having a big monster in that type of fucking movie it's a cool perspective if you grew up on those type of movies. Like kaiju fans, I'm sure were thrilled to have that type of POV.
Yeah.
Has there ever been a horse kaiju? Random question, like a horse themed kaiju?
Not that I can think of.
Well, they can create a new one. I want that to like just curb stomp Broderick's wife. I think that would be an awesome scene.
I thought you were gonna have Mothra do some Tijuana things, so I didn't know where you were going.
I don't know. Honest to God, I think I could do a top 5 Godzilla movie with this concept. I think it would be awesome. Broderick's making some stupid off-Broadway play. I don't know. Hank Azaria drinks now.
All I want to know is who's Matthew Broderick going to drive over and kill?
Ooh. You got mean with it, Todd.
I meant in the movie. What are you talking about?
It actually would be funny driving away from Godzilla, and he's like hitting every pedestrian.
And they call for the choppers, and John Landis comes out.
Oh, too far. Scene deleted. Yeah, we're gonna have to not remind people of that one there, director. Not good. Not now if Godzilla whacked whacked one out of the air and it just took out Landis, that might be fun.
Dude, see, like that needs to be a kill. What movie was it that was a kill recently? I think it was Suicide Squad. Like the helicopter falls over and just completely chops these people in half. Yeah. Good. Hey, I always call it the Landis spot every time I fucking see it.
Well, anyways, instead of booking awesome Godzilla movies, yes. Yeah. Zombie Diaries is another one. Shout out Chris McGibbon. I know that's a favorite of his. And it was actually really sad because that did all the directors get like that little, last broadcast, obviously getting to, point out, hey, we were before Blair Witch.
Yeah.
We didn't rip them off. And same thing with some of the other directors, Zombie Diaries and Diary of the Dead. It's like, no, we made it before. It just looked like we ripped it off.
Yeah.
Mitchell bought that shit immediately. Harvey knew what he was doing.
Oh, definitely. Can't blame him. So I thought this was great. I also appreciated, they don't really talk about it much, but Hardcore with George C. Scott, that you get a little clip from that, which Todd has never seen.
I know, which is why I asked you the other day.
Yeah.
So
go ahead.
I was gonna say I bought it on digital right after the doc.
Before I forget too, if you're on Letterboxd, I have a list of all the films that they spoke about in the movie that are found footage or inspired by found footage. There's a full list of everything on Letterboxd. It's just under the title of the documentary, The Found Footage Phenomenon. So if you want to check out the movies that are talked about in there, all of them are on that list.
Sweet.
Yeah, Ben says I'm definitely keeping a lookout for Doomplot's found footage redacted. Didn't know
De Palma's.
I've seen Redacted.
De Palma's found footage.
Ben, Redacted is really, really fucking good, and it's so fucked up. Like extremely fucking well done found footage movie. I didn't know it was Brian De Palma until I saw this documentary. Actually, I was like shocked. I was like, holy shit. No wonder it was so fucking good. I thought it was just some random director that did it.
Yeah, I was thinking of the guy who did Creep. I don't know why I read De Palma's name wrong.
Oh yeah, shout out to them talking about Creep too. I love those fucking movies.
The ones I was happy that they mentioned were, this kind of gives away my personality. Megan is Missing.
Yeah.
And the Poughkeepsie tapes.
I love Poughkeepsie.
Two of my favorite found footage movies. Now, with that being said, Dan, what is the one I am not happy that was missing? It falls in line with those other two very easily.
I do not know. Go ahead and tell me.
The Miranda murders.
Oh, yeah. I don't know
footage.
Yeah, maybe it's just a case of that not having that distribute. Although that made one hell of a splash in terms of people being angry about it. So
it's about to get a re-release too. So hopefully it's going to get some more eyes again.
Yeah, definitely. They recreated those the clips of those tapes pretty well. It's hard to tell the difference on that one. So yeah, Miranda Murders, another one to go check out. And the follow-up, right? They did the
other one's that one's more of like it's kind of like the Silent Night Deadly 2 sequel.
Yeah.
So have you guys ever seen the movies To Jennifer? I think it's called To Jennifer or some shit like that. One of them has Derek. The third one has Derek Mears in it.
No
remake, Jason.
I remember thinking it was a little overrated, but I'd have to go back.
The second one's really good. The second one's like goes into full extreme horror. This dude fucking castrates himself on camera, type shit. I was a little bit sad. Like, I know nobody knows what the fuck it is, but Devil's Weekend is also a really good extreme found footage horror movie that I would have appreciated if it was talked about, but I don't think anybody's seen it. It was, wasn't it one of the Wild Eye Raw and Extreme titles, Todd?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
That one's really well done, in the similar vein of like August Underground type stuff.
That's an interesting label. I mean, there are some misses for sure, but there's some gems there too. Specifically Wild Eye Raw and Extreme. There's some good
Cat
stuff.
Sick Blues, dude. Cat Sick Blues.
Cat Sick Blues might be the best one.
Ben, Redacted is on Amazon. You can watch it with a free trial of either Docs or Magnolia. So they both have 7-day trials, and it's included with both. So if you want to check it out, you can just do the trial.
Yeah, definitely.
I have to do that too.
So what? Ready to rate this one?
Yeah.
I am 4 stars. Obviously, they could extend this. In fact, I would be very happy if they have like some, his name was Jason kind of doc or something, length, 4 hours or something. And honestly, I would have watched it all.
His name was Jason was 90 minutes. I think you mean Crystal Lake.
Sorry, Crystal Lake. Crystal Lake.
Come on, Dad.
Yeah, the 9-hour doc. I thought it was really good. And
oh, me too, dude.
Miranda murders.
I watched that shit in one fucking sitting, and I was like, all right, fucking, I need to like go lay down and absorb all this information.
I watched that one. I watched the Nightmare on Elm Street one. Both of them I watched them a couple times.
Yeah, the Nightmare on Elm Street one's really good.
Yeah, I mean, almost so good to the point where it's like, we don't really need extras anymore because they really cover everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm 4 on this. I think it's great. What say you guys?
Me, I'm a 3.5 out of 5. I think there was, a little bit of room to talk about some more stuff. And I also like, even though they did make a joke about it, I wasn't ready for the doc to end when it did. I was like, oh, there's fucking no more. So I could have used a little bit more.
I was going back and forth between 3.5 and 4. Kruger talked me into that 3.5. So
fair enough.
All right.
Part 2, though, I'm all for a part 2, and maybe to talk about like some of the found footage movies that nobody, because I feel like I knew about a lot of these films that were talked about, and there wasn't a lot of like new stuff. I want that doc where I have like a list of 100 decent found footage movies to check out now, and so part 2 maybe. I'm down for that.
Yeah, I will say with found footage though, when they get it wrong, there's nothing much worse than a really shitty found footage movie. Those can be rough to sit through, but
yeah.
So
I've sat through plenty, man.
And then we also have, which I also do like too, the screen life subgenre, which is just found footage adjacent.
Yeah. I would have liked if we would have dived into more of that, because Unfriended, I think, is actually a really good one.
But then you get into the whole debate: is that found footage? Or
it is, though, because they talked about Host.
This is true. I think it also depends too, because some are found footage, but it's a subgenre. No, there's no argument.
I think I think you're not wrong if you classify them in the same genre as found footage.
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, and Host is a Shudder movie, so I'm sure they want to get that was a big hit for him.
That guy's new film is coming out though soon. What is it? Dash Cam, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes.
We reviewed.
The one we got mixed up on, and we thought it was from this one dude, and it wasn't. It's like what was the other? It was like a similar name too.
It was Dash Cam also. I believe it was just different director.
Yeah.
Different movie.
Yeah.
Right.
And in the chat, wouldn't mind a sequel to this. Hell, they might have shot extra stuff too. It wouldn't surprise me. All right, on to our next movie, which is from writer Riley Stearns, and it is Duel. So a woman opts for a cloning procedure after she receives a terminal diagnosis, but when she recovers, her attempts to have her clone decommissioned fail, leading to a court-mandated duel to the death. All right, so Duel, Riley Stearns, if you're unfamiliar, directed Art of Self-Defense, which is a movie we liked quite a bit and reviewed few years ago.
Yeah, I remember
And
pestering you. You had to go see it.
yeah, enjoyed that one quite a bit. Also, really enjoyed Faults, the cult movie with Leyland Orser. Uh, I like that one a lot. Actually, it's another one that I thought was a gem. So, very excited about this one. Director that I think we all enjoyed quite a bit. But having said that, Todd, for you, did it live up to your expectations?
I didn't, I tried to go into stuff without expectations.
Yeah.
But from what I saw in the trailer, yes, it wasn't the art of self-defense, which I loved. I did have a good time with this one. I do like what is our lead's name?
Karen Gillan.
Yeah, Karen Gillan. And I don't know, it was just one of those like the other one. It's just kind of like, what the fuck's going on? It's like just like I don't want to give too much away. Like the boyfriend stuff, which I thought was hilarious. And then it was just, I don't want to say seeing how people become, but you see the clone eventually get to where the other one is, and I thought that was fitting.
It's definitely so. I think a lot of people will say this one leans a little bit more into drama. The humor is it's a very niche flick going in.
His other one too. His other stuff.
It is. I think Art of Self-Defense, if I'm being honest, is a little more funny in terms of laugh out loud humor. This one,
yeah,
it's very subtle. Like when you have the clones in the commercial talking about like I masturbating with your left hand and everything. It's very, it's very quick. It's also a film that might depress some people because you're dealing with a very detached person, maybe borderline suicidal. So definitely dark comedy. It's gonna appeal to a very specific audience, like the scene with Aaron Paul where he's like, well, maybe we can work out some other payment, and then they go into the hip hop dance class thing. It made me laugh. I can see a lot of people just kind of scratching their heads and not loving this.
But that's the same thing you can say about his last film too, though.
I think the last one's going to please more people.
I don't disagree with that. I think there's enough humor they can overlook the weirdness.
Yeah.
This one, the weirdness is first, and the humor there's humor there, but what it is, it's
and also, if you're looking for a sci-fi action film where Karen Gillan fights with their clone, you're going to be disappointed on that front too. So it's just a hard one to decide who I'm going to recommend it to. And I actually did like it. I think out of the three, it's definitely my third favorite. I do like Faults and Art of Self-Defense more.
I need to revisit Faults.
Yeah, Faults is really good. I knew like right then, okay, director to watch.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one still has its laughs and kind of a predictable ending, to be honest. But I don't know. I still like this one. Just I'm gonna say one-time watch though. Like I don't feel like I'll need to go back to this anytime soon. While to be honest, watching it, I kind of felt like watching Faults and Art of Self-Defense again. Aaron Paul doesn't have a ton of screen time in this. It also does feel like a pandemic era movie because they actually shot this in Finland, of all places. But I still enjoyed it. The whole thing with her mother, like preferring the clone and everything. It's an oddball movie. Ben mentions Yorgos Lanthimos. Yes, but again, I would prefer most of what Yorgos has done. It's certainly no Dogtooth. I love Dogtooth. Having said that, though, probably the best Karen Gillan movie I've watched in a while. She's been in some like streaming turds.
You're not a Jumanji fan?
Yeah, I'm a Doctor Who fan.
I don't know what that is.
You know what Doctor Who is?
That's
You son of a bitch.
Is he with Dr. Dre?
No, better than Dr. Dre.
Okay, now Dan, you're gonna get fucked out.
Dr. Who didn't get locked in the basement, Todd. See, I know the rap.
Dr.
Todd,
Dre
okay.
got locked in the basement.
Yeah, Dr. Dre's dead. He's locked in my basement.
Oh,
Eminem,
geez.
Todd, get hip, get courage. Todd.
Shocker, Dan does the white guy.
He's a rapper. He's like the best rapper. Come on.
Oh,
come on, Todd.
K. Elvis is the best rock and roller.
Well, it's pretty fucking famous. Tom Hanks movie, Todd. Why are you hating, Todd? Why are you hating, Todd? Come on. Love.
All right. Put your wings down, Culture Vulture.
I actually know a rap thing and I'm getting shit. So
all right, we got a comment from Big T Dan needs to read.
Big T, I'm with Todd. Doctor Who is the Misty Monday of series. No, it's not. Well, it is.
See, Dan, I fucked you up.
With the girl, Jodie Whittaker was not good. There have been a couple.
Oh, Jesus, Dan, you're going to say that on air? Now, there goes our female listeners, viewers.
It's true. Nobody liked her. That's just.
Well,
what do you want me to say?
Well, the incels didn't like the woman on Doctor Who. Fuck, I'm shocked.
Well, if our female listeners aren't out by now, they're going to be out later tonight. So
I supported Doctor Who. I supported a female doctor. She just was not good. I'm sorry. Sorry, I speak the truth. But anyways, Duel, check it out. It's a good one-time watch. It's just.
It's streaming on AMC Plus. I was bummed I missed it theatrically. So I was glad this was on
Karen's more talented than she gets to show quite often, and I think she does get to show her acting chops here pretty well. So I'm a 3 stars.
Yeah, well, she's balling. She has that Marvel money, so
she's got the Marvel money. She's doing fine. Speaking of shit, though. Ooh.
I'm 3.5.
All right, Todd, a little bit higher. Cool. Yeah. All right, moving on to our next movie of the evening, which is Scare Zone, which was recently re-released. It's actually a 2009 film, but they're putting it out again from writer-director John Binkowski.
It's the official release. This is really it. Because it was May 2009. There was a cut that got out there in 2019, and I think it's a lot of places officially listed as 2019. So this is like the final.
The final.
This is like the release.
All right. So Scare Zone is Oliver's pride and joy. Sure, it's just another strip mall Halloween horror house, but as always, he puts his heart and soul into it. The attraction is open for 3 nights only, and Oliver has brought back his old staff, including ex-con Spider, eager bride-to-be Summer, and the enigmatic goth princess Claire. A bunch of newbies are also on board, including the earnest young Daryl, who immediately finds himself bewitched by the creepy Claire. The dysfunctional scream teen learns to work together while someone or something is out to make the horror real. All right, so haunt-themed slasher. We've certainly had more than a few of those recently. And there was a little wave around this time. Scare Zone, there were a handful of others.
Bates Haunting.
Yeah.
Scream Park,
yes, that's another one. And then kind of went away a little while, and I think maybe coming back over the last few years, we're starting to see some again.
Hellfest should have sparked a bigger, I don't mean just sequel. I mean, I'm surprised that didn't start a bunch of like similarly themed movies. We got a couple, but
yeah, we got like a little bit later on Extremity and Haunt. But
Extremity, Haunt is really
Trick.
good.
I didn't like Trick.
Trick was fun. Well, Trick wasn't a haunted house movie. It was a slasher. Was it?
Okay,
you wear different masks every time.
Maybe okay, that's what I'm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that twist in that movie was dog shit.
Bloodfest, that's right. American Scare Park. Oh, there was that one dog shit one we reviewed that oh Jesus Christ. I can't it was the British one. I can't remember the name.
Oh, Fear Farm?
No. There's that one too. No. There was a different one. God, it was so
If
bad.
we're name dropping, Hayride 1 and 2, those are some lower budget ones with Richard Tyson.
I think I need to see that because I'm just gonna say now before we actually start talking about it. I am a sucker for this genre, so it takes a lot for me to hate them. Like there's that one I can't think of that I really did not like, but
there's a lot that aren't great, but I get what you're saying if it hits that certain mood. Because honestly, to God, I love haunts, even shitty haunts. Even when I was a little kid, and sticking your hands in the spaghetti with the grapes that were eyeballs.
I'm shocked that didn't give you didn't immediately go to a bad example.
Right.
It's not sauce in it, Todd.
That was like working in haunted houses was like my high school job for throughout all of my high school years. It's like part of the reason why I actually got my wrestling mask all custom made was because I used to work for this guy who used to run this place called Fear Farm. Ironically,
did the mask go back to the haunts?
No.
Okay.
No. But he Chris, when he would make his haunts, if you could actually look up, he used to make these amazing fucking haunts in Arizona. And he would have 4 or 5 different attractions, and he would literally sculpt masks to people's faces that would work at the fucking haunt. So I knew him from that because he would, be making shit. He would have people try out in the summer. So he'd be sculpting all up until October, and then everything would be ready. So I knew him from that, and we got that connection. So he ended up making my pro wrestling mask after.
Oh, nice.
I've never heard the origin of that. That's cool.
Yeah, it was, and working in it was the funnest fucking job ever. Literally, everybody's just smoking pot and fucking getting drunk, and then scaring the shit out of the people. It was a great time being a high school kid around a bunch of fucking older people.
I never got. I always tried to get the Scary Farm job.
Mm-hmm.
Never got it. I was also, I didn't want to commit. I was having fun drinking and hanging out. But whatever, I tried.
I would think it would be because you're tall, so I would think they would be oh man, we could make a cool monster out of you.
Well, I did get it. I tried twice. I was like, fuck this. But I did go to some of the monster after parties. Holy fuck.
One year I got to do this cool thing where I was in a coffin, and basically I'd be banging on it, but you'd have to pass this coffin twice. And the second time I would pop out, and I was pretty jacked at the time because I was in high school fucking wrestling. So I just bear crawl and start running at them. So they'd see this giant motherfucker just bear crawling at them with this fucking fucked up skull face. It was really cool. I did that. I did a clown one year. I did an infected zombie, but with my guts hanging out and shit. It was really he made some extravagant shit. I highly recommend if you're into that type of thing, just look up Fear Farm 2010 and you'll find a compilation of all the years that he did. Some amazing stuff.
I love extreme haunts too.
I've never been to one of those. I'm a little iffy because I don't like being grabbed on, but I have actually worked at. There was one year that we did one of those, and we never did it again because there were so many fights that broke out.
Oh, I want to see somebody grab Kruger and just get a package pile driver and some 16-year-old kid with a serious spinal injury, and they think it's part of the show.
It'd probably be a suplex because I don't know if I could shoot package pile drive somebody, but yeah, trust me that I don't think I would fit well in those fucking type of settings. But I would be willing to try one. I don't know, when you're getting suffocated and all that crazy shit, that's when I'd start to freak the fuck out.
Let's just say there could be some interesting things on the extreme haunt horizon, maybe.
The can't fight back part is fuck this. You put me in a position at some point, I would have started.
But you sign off. You can't fuck up an actor that
I'm just telling you, there's something that happens at a certain point that you're.
But I've seen some crazy shit where they're fucking sticking funnels down motherfuckers' throat and throwing bugs in there and shit. Fuck all that.
No, that's what you sign up for.
But that see to me that's not scary.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't sign up for it. I don't not
I'm
want
sure
fucking
there's
bugs.
something. They're not going to put them in your mouth because
No, but they'll fucking put them on you. And then what if I find a fucking cockroach up my ass crack? Fucking when I come home, I'm not going to be too happy, am I?
I wouldn't be allowed back if they had a Last House on the Left style room.
No shit.
No,
anyways, the fucking movie.
Oh yeah,
we're gonna
all of this is much cooler, probably. But Scare Zone, Kruger, what do you think of Scare Zone?
Yeah, man. I really fucking I wasn't a fan of this. Like going in, I was, really looking forward to it just because being in that position to where you actually worked at a haunt, seeing characters in that position was kind of cool. And you don't necessarily see that all the time with haunt movies either. That's that perspective. You're usually looking at, people go into a haunt, that, and then something happening to them. But this time you're, following the workers, which was kind of cool. But just the acting wasn't good. The humor really, really didn't work for me whatsoever. And it was becoming very, very tedious to get through. Especially just sitting around not caring about any of the characters. The one thing I did kind of think that was funny though was the chainsaw thing. Him talking about don't let anybody touch the chainsaw. I didn't take the chain out, but I took the motor out or some shit like that. I literally had that scenario play out at Fear Farm one year. Chris had he doesn't work for Fear Farm anymore, so I could tell this story. He had one of his chainsaws, and my friend Holly touched it and it cut her open, and he freaked the fuck out. It was really, really fucking funny. And he ended up giving her a bunch of free tickets and meal tickets and stuff, so she did throw a fit, but it was pretty funny just because she shows his finger and it's fucking bleeding all over the place, and he's thinking, oh, I'm fucked now. So that was a cool little line that I did have some sort of relatable thing to. But yeah, just nothing was compelling enough for me to really want to sit through this movie, and it became a chore, and it was hard to get through. I don't really have much positive to say about it other than the fact that we got to see the POV that we did with the haunt workers rather than just seeing people go into a haunt. Concept is kind of cool, and maybe on paper, an outline of this could work really well in a movie, but just with the way it was executed, it's not anything that I could even remotely recommend.
I should say, actually, the sets do come from Universal Horror Nights Body Collectors. I don't know if you went to that one, Todd, but that's where.
I don't remember.
Yeah, well, it would have been a while ago, but yeah, this is definitely a lighter, more comedic tone on this one, a little on the goofy side. That's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, I did get that same haunt feeling from it, which is the most important thing. Yet it's funny because it is light for the most part, but then there's a cutting subplot that's a little more
weird, random.
Well, perfectly fine, but self-mutilation 1 minute, and then it feels like Scooby-Doo the other.
Yeah.
Kind of an odd mix. I did like the actress that played Claire, Arian Ash. I thought she was really good. Just at times it felt like they were doing a different movie.
It was all over the place, honestly, with the story, especially. We didn't just stick to that haunt setting either. We're kind of taking here and then here where these characters are, and it's just just vomit. All over the place.
Yeah, the tone is odd, but I still kind of liked it. I probably liked it more this time than I did the first time because I think I was a little less kind to it. But you can certainly do better, but you can also do a lot worse. Because even some of these haunt movies that we name dropped, some of those are certainly a lot worse than Scare Zone. As far as the gore goes, nothing super impressive, but this is still the era too where we don't get squirting CG blood in spots now.
No, we had it in 2009.
We did, but it wasn't
everyone knew it was
ridiculous. Yeah,
now it's like a Premiere Pro plugin, so anyone can do it.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I mean, there's some movies where that's all It is, and
The
we're
worst.
still at the point where we're getting some practical here. Nothing really big highlight wise, pretty basic kills.
And I knew that was
Yeah.
gonna like. I think
Yeah.
that could have saved it for Kruger if there was some really cool kills.
Yeah, if it was like creative or like doesn't even necessarily just need to be like super gore filled, but like something that has me go, oh, that I've never seen that before. That was a cool way to kill him with that thing. But this had none of that, and like when you're sitting waiting for these annoying fucking characters to get killed off, that's always like kind of your reward for sitting through it, and I never really got that.
See, that's where I differ. I didn't think they were annoying. I had fun hanging out with this group of people watching this. It's funny though because this is probably my third time seeing it. When we decided to review it, I didn't realize it was the same one. But the actor Neil Brown Jr., who played Spider, went on to be DJ Yella in the Straight Outta Compton movie.
Oh,
So this time I was watching, I was like, I know that motherfucker. Then I was like, oh shit, it's Yella.
yeah, nice. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that movie too. Like, I don't, obviously, I'm not as knowledgeable as you, but I did enjoy Straight Outta Compton.
There's some things that are obviously
Embellished.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll watch along of that. Tom,
yeah, I was gonna
like
say
rog. There's also no.
That might be the most informative commentary we'd ever do because I know
For
you
me.
know like fucking everything.
Yeah,
that would just be like just introduce it and let Todd talk kind of.
There's actually a little cousin of it. We'll call it a cousin from Lifetime. That's about Dre, Suge, and Michelle.
Is that the one where Ahmed Johnson plays Suge Knight?
No, is that the Ahmed Johnson?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
That exists, yes.
No, that's the MC Hammer movie. This one is the one. It actually has the same guy playing Suge Knight as in the other movie, as in Straight Outta Compton.
Okay.
So, but it's like it has all the woman beating allegedly from Dre and all the good stuff, and it's a Lifetime movie, so it's horribly awesome. So,
well, yes. So, Scare Zone. Just to wrap it, I'm a 2.5.
I'm a 3. I do enjoy it, and I probably would have went higher on my enjoyment because I do like this, and it is the third time I've watched it. It's not my favorite, but it's one I can watch again. My favorite probably from this era is Bates Haunting, despite that it has the Psycho House on the cover and nothing to do with it. So, but yeah, and I think that one also is from the POV of the workers too.
Okay,
if my memory serves,
they
kind of blend together.
Maybe this Halloween. What say you, Kruger?
Me, I'm just 1 star.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I kind of figured on this one. So they're talking about a flesh wound haunt in the chat. Now, just because of this, there's going to be a room where it goes dark and you get sprayed by Axe.
Oh, God.
It's going to be awesome. Like the blow darts on the Indiana Jones thing. It'll be awesome. And you'll smell nice when you get off the ride.
And then we're going to do like a Gallagher gimmick, and we're gonna have I was gonna say you can't do that on television, but I was like, no one's gonna get that. Then I went with Gallagher, which even less people are gonna fucking get. So I'm just say
Vegas staple, Todd. Gallagher still does shows, right?
I don't know. I saw him like 3 times at Knott's Berry Farm. So
it's not dead, is he?
One of them is. I don't know. There's 2 of them. There's a whole thing.
Oh,
but my point, I forgot what I was gonna say. Jesus Christ. Oh, I was gonna say a room where we just dump spaghetti sauce on Dan. Dunk tank where it's spaghetti sauce and Dan might have to get dunked in spaghetti sauce.
That ain't happening.
That's not a bad idea.
That is. For charity, Dan.
Hey, I'll do a dunk tank. I'm not gonna do that shit.
Dunk tank into spaghetti. Come on, man.
If it's no sauce, that's fine.
No, dog. There's gotta be a meaty fucking marinara in there.
Well, the children are just gonna have to starve because that's not gonna happen. So, it is what it is. I don't think I've ever been to a wrestling themed haunt. I mean, you could kind of make it work. I don't know.
I mean, you could, but it would. I don't know. I don't think there's enough people that would actually go to that or like be interested in that.
The wheels are kind of turning. Local wrestling thing. Like you incorporate it somehow. I don't know. Wheels are turning.
Incorporating Halloween into our wrestling. Who would have ever thought of that?
Well, yeah, but I'm saying like I can think of some other stories. I'm not
No,
gonna give them
I'm
away.
just saying, like UEW's been doing that shit for fucking ever.
Yeah. Haunt slash yeah. Do a
See,
haunt
we
thing
should have did
again.
a haunt when we had that building, but you have to break the ring down every time. God damn it!
It's a good idea.
I think there was at one point discussion of doing one in the parking lot,
That would have been sick.
but they probably let someone be in charge of it, and it never happened. So,
Yeah, sounds about right. Anyways,
All right.
but yeah, what's next?
Our next film. Well, let's go on down to the bayou with writer-director Paul Dales. Kruger, you can tell he loves it. Sewer Gators. When killer alligators unleash chaos on from the sewers of a small Louisiana town, it's up to local sheriff, an alligator expert, and an old gator hunter to kill the beasts. So I can tell
AKA Bad Jaws parody.
I can tell Kruger loves it. So what did you think of Sewer Gators, Kruger?
Yeah, man. This movie is definitely something. How can I put this? If like kids in high school like wanted to make like a Jaws remake, had like no budget, and like got some competent actors, that's kind of what this was. I mean, the effects were pretty fucking terrible, but terrible on purpose. I mean, at one point they're using fucking dollar store crocodile toys and shit like that. So like, it obviously is playing into it. It's over the topness, but I didn't find it funny or really that interesting. And it was an hour long and it felt like it was forever. Also, some terrible CGI alligators and just character, like, I don't know, like there's an audience I'm sure out there for this. Like if you liked some of the SRS like shark movies, I think you could enjoy this a little bit, but you have to be that audience, and I wasn't. So I really had a pretty bad time with it, and I think a lot of people will agree with me. This is for a very niche audience, and I'm not that audience at all.
Yeah, I mean, this is a comedy. If you're even looking for a sci-fi channel style creature movie, you're not going to get it here. I did laugh. Number one, it's an hour, so it doesn't overstay its welcome. But the opening credits and the song and everything, I thought I actually did laugh at that. The I mean, the lines like we can't have a bunch of yahoos roaming through the sewers shooting at floating turds. Like there were a few moments like that did kind of crack me up. It kind of weighs out, overstays its welcome towards the end, to be honest. I think you're right. It's very niche. It depends. There's no real effects to speak of. These are like toy alligators that you buy at KB or
not even KB dollar store, dude.
Well, definitely not KB because that hasn't existed now for like 10 years, but it should though. But yeah, KB was awesome.
Overpriced mall toys, yeah. Let's go with that.
Yeah. But I laughed. I mean, again, I can't shit on this one too much. They spent $10 to make it. I laughed at least a handful of times, and that's probably about all you can kind of expect from this. But I wouldn't necessarily recommend it for the Sci-Fi Channel crowd. This is very DIY stuff here that, I mean, I'm not going to shit on effects or anything because they really didn't even try and make that kind of movie. No. How about you, Todd? Did your heart warm to Sewer Gators?
It did not. Like I said, it's a Jaws parody, which is funny because I watched this like the same day I watched Jaws, not knowing it was a parody, and I ended up watching this one first. And maybe that didn't help it because I'm like, when I just want to watch what movie I was planning on watching next.
Yeah.
So, it was no Jaws. I don't know. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. But at an hour, it still does overstay its welcome, I think. It could have been a funny half hour, 40-minute short. Probably closer to half hour. But yeah, overall, and I think it's worth a one-time watch if you like micro-budget cinema and you want to see a Jaws parody. But I mean, other than that, I don't know who I'd recommend it to.
I think like if you somehow like House Shark and fucking Shark of the Corn, and like I said, those SRS shark movies that have no budget at all, then maybe you could enjoy this.
Shark Encounters of the Third Kind. They're coming out. I actually just bought Land Shark today, although that's I think a Chinese.
Yeah, that's a Chinese Chinese CGI monster movie.
And that just rips off Saturday Night Live. That's the original Land Shark. That's dating myself quite a bit. If you don't know Land Shark, Google it. It was after Jaws came
Bringing back all the awesome stuff tonight. Land Shark, KB Toys.
KB, you know what? KB Toys can suck a dick. It's over there with Blockbuster and Suncoast. All over.
Suncoast, shut your whore mouth. Suncoast?
No, fuck Suncoast too. They overcharge you. You like paying retail for brand new movies?
This is not eBay era. Like you had to get
Suncoast was overpriced. All right, you could have went to a better store.
Look at what I got at Suncoast. I got discovered so much
but you overpaid for them all.
Okay. I didn't fucking go after like movies at Suncoast, but that was like the only fucking place you could get McFarlane stuff in fucking the mall for a very long time.
Fangoria magazine too.
I can't go with the Suncoast blasphemy, Todd.
Oh well,
fuck you, Todd.
Okay, then I will be very specific because you know what? I have no issues with the toy stuff. But fuck their movies because they charge you retail on everything.
Not on everything.
Yes, everything.
That's because you're in California.
No, all mall stores do that. I hated when fucking Tower moved to fucking the mall because everything became overpriced.
Yeah.
So I used to use Suncoast like, okay, this. Now I go to a real store and buy it.
What's the real store?
I go to Tower Video. Fucking, they had everything.
Sure, not everybody had that though.
I go to the Warehouse. The Warehouse was cheaper than fucking Suncoast.
Yeah, but you're referencing local stuff in California.
The Warehouse was a national chain.
Ben Grimm says Suncoast was way too expensive.
I'm not saying it wasn't. I'm just saying that's where you discovered certain things. Yeah, there you go.
Big T says, Todd, you're 1,000% wrong on Suncoast. Suncoast is a palace. I went in for merchandise more than I did the actual movies. And that's where I stand too.
And I backpedal on that because that part of it was cool. Because they also had all the Full Moon toys. Just their movies, fuck them. They were way too expensive.
But again, not everything, Todd. It depends.
Yes, everything was retail. Even their sale prices were overpriced.
I still say Suncoast.
It's like FYE now. FYE is the most fucking same bullshit. Dude, they piss me the fuck off. I'll go in there and I'll see a Shout Factory thing. Because, like, the only reason I even go in there to fucking try to get physical media is because once in a blue moon, they'll have a slipcover Screen Factory title that, you know, has been out of print for a really long time with the slip, and I'll want to get it for that. But their goddamn their prices, they're like $40 for like a $25 Blu-ray half of the time. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. They used to have the best sales. Yeah, going out of business sales.
Fuck you, Todd. You wouldn't want it back now.
No,
I mean, we've lost like fuck you.
It's pointless. Why? I want to pay fucking retail when I can like spend half as much at fucking Walmart or Amazon.
Well, Walmart certainly doesn't have this.
Okay, I switched it up to Amazon, but you can still buy them on Amazon.
Well, it's because you have no soul. I buy on Amazon too, but I certainly would buy everything in store. Good. See, you're pissing off my dog.
Well, I try to buy directly from the company so they get more money. Dan.
I do too.
All right, what do we got next, motherfuckers?
I don't know. Wait, did we rate this one? What were we talking about?
We got Sewer Gators.
2 stars.
I am 2 too.
I am 1/2 star.
Okay. Not a crowd favorite.
That's more than I expected Kruger to give it. So
before we jump into the next one, I did fail to mention that if you do want to check out Scare Zone, it is on the Terror Films channel. You can watch the full movie for free. It'll also be on VOD. But yeah, if you want to check it out, maybe you'll agree with Kruger, maybe you'll agree with me. I don't know. I think I turned heel with my Suncoast 8 tonight.
I'm gonna share this. I'm gonna find like people that worked at Suncoast. And
good. Fuck them too.
it was so.
Kidding.
I bought. I remember,
Didn't Chris work there?
Yeah, he did, and he found some good shit.
Yeah, when they were closing.
That's not true, Todd. It lasted for years. It was my favorite place to go in the mall.
Daily Ghost had to pay the mall rent. Fuck that.
Damn.
And they were over, and if you know it, and that's like FYE, and that's why they're so overpriced, because 90% of their locations are in malls.
Well, we also paid a whole lot more back then for certain things. You know, there's certainly. I want to have Chris on for this. I know Chris has got my back. Because there was shit that you could not get elsewhere.
You have Blockbuster nostalgia too, which I don't get.
I have mom and pop video store nostalgia as well.
Yeah, but you get excited about Blockbuster. Well, although Hollywood I will watch that Blockbuster. I will watch that Blockbuster show when it's on.
Yeah, of course. It's all good. I wish we had it all back. Mom and pops, Blockbusters on every corner.
That's all right. Well, you can blame Netflix, and it's all right. They're gonna get crushed by next too. I can't wait to watch the Netflix documentary on HBO Max.
Hey, at least we got Stranger Things.
Right. Yeah, we'll get another season. It's their first show. It's probably their only show that didn't get canceled at 3 seasons, because that's their thing. They cancel it 3 seasons if they make it that long. Because their thought is, we're not going to get any new subscribers on it. Fuck it.
I'm just glad that like Slasher got picked up, because I know Slasher originally started as a Canadian show and then Netflix got it, put it for 2 more seasons. But I'm so happy Shudder picked it up, because that last season was fucking great.
Yeah,
I hope more Netflix shows that do get canceled do eventually get revived. Somewhere else, because it kind of sucks for a lot of hardcore fans that really want to be invested in the story for a while.
Yeah,
I'm still pissed Ash vs. Evil Dead got fucking canceled, for fuck's sake.
That's streaming. But anyways, Suncoast rules. Fuck you, Todd. And let's move on to our next movie, which is the big one. Shut up. Damn it. Sorry. Quirk. Should have named him.
He's mad because you named him that.
Quark is awesome. I was going to say he's acting more like a Star Wars character right now. Should have called him Skywalker. He can be a whiny bitch, but he's a good boy. Yeah.
Okay.
Next movie is
next movie.
Men, right?
Men. Yes, Men. All right. So this is from writer, director Alex Garland, and Men follows.
Dan, you just completely skipped one.
Oh, we did?
What? Oh, fuck. My bad. Todd's got a solo. My bad. You got me all mad about Suncoast, so it's not my bad. It's your fault. Go ahead.
Yeah, Todd, Evil Bong.
I guess Dan's not going to read the description now.
Oh, because I didn't have it up.
Well, we went through the order. Dan didn't do it. He wasn't ready.
Because you threw the game off when you talked about a childhood staple, Todd. You broke my fucking heart, Todd. How do you not like?
Do you remember Blockbuster Music?
No.
They they bought
Not
Music Plus.
Yeah.
They bought Music Plus and became Blockbuster Music. Then most of those locations turned to FYE.
I like FYE too, but there's something about Suncoast. I just go and
They're
get
overpriced. I used to like going and looking there, but I just,
man, you get your Asian food. Then I haul ass to Suncoast. I remember buying the Deep Space Nine DVD sets, which I think were the first.
Yeah, and you lost me, Dan. You were supposed to be pulling up these.
I've got it.
Okay, read it real quick.
But anyways, yeah, because I could rant for a long time on that. So Evil Bong 888 Infinity High from director Charles Band and writer Charles Band and Kent Rodenbush, I should say. When he's finally given a chance to go legit by opening a restaurant, Rabbit can't stop himself from sliding back to his old ways. With EB as his master chef, weed is definitely on the menu, and this high-end joint is the toke of the town. Staffed with tons of familiar faces and fan-favorite buds, will Rabbit end on a high note, or will he be chopped by the cops in a kitchen nightmare that goes up in smoke? All right, Todd. So this is your franchise. What did you think of Evil Bong? 8?
I was gonna say I'm like the one. I watched them all in preparation for this, and like even the little offshoots. Like I said, all 25 films in the whole universe. So I know this material pretty well. So I went into this a month later than I was expecting it. So I had to wait an extra month. We have first Diana Prince plays Thomasina Atkins, aka Tom Atkins. It's like a typical Evil Bong, one set basically, or one of the later ones, and we just kind of get a bunch of shenanigans. I know Dan, you would be happy. We have for 90% of the movie, we have 3 topless adult stars: Devin Wolf, Keith Chambers, and Christina Sin pop up.
I was hoping you were going to say somebody else that's in the movie.
Oh, topless? No.
That's a Google search, Kruger. Trust me. You get a lot.
Oh well.
Oh no, well, dude, I already know that. Trust me.
And it's the 3rd character Robin Sidney has played in the Evil Bongiverse as Kendra. So I'll tell you right now, I did like this. I pretty much like all the Evil Bongs. They're dumb, they're fun. You get some titties, some jokes, and I like Sonny Carl Davis as Rabbit. I don't think it's the best one. I kind of wanted more from the final entry in the series. We did get. I don't think it's
it's less than an hour with credits, right? It's a short one.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact running time on this one was 59 minutes. They're all the later ones are pretty short, but at least I was kind of curious if we were going to get these split into 2 and get the other half, because you have Infinity High, something with End Game, kind of play off the thing. But no, this was it unless.
Is Ginger Dead Man in this? I'm a Ginger Dead Man guy.
He's after credit scene. I don't know how to answer that.
Okay, I think
he pops up. I do like the combination of both.
The Bong doesn't get to do much. Maybe that's like one of my big issues. The Bong is just kind of stationary.
That makes sense.
I mean, you can see Ginger Dead Man on the wall there. Gary Busey.
Oh yeah. But I do. There was only one cameo, one return. I mean, it's not hard. I mean, he's in the IMDb, but all I wanted was Larnell to return, because you can't finish off Evil Bong without, Larnell and Rabbit. Jesus, I lost it.
Rabbit.
I had fun with it. And Ben brings up the random interview with the Tiger King dude in the middle of the movie. Yeah, that was pretty just random. I think if you're a fan of the series of Ben Grimm, rank the Evil Bongs.
That might be a separate video.
Yeah. Didn't I do that on that? I think there was a show I did that on.
There probably is.
No, because I did the whole Bong thing with the.
I'm a full moon guy, absolute, but I never developed that special feeling you have for Evil Bong.
I'm surprised because there's so much nudity throughout.
There is. I mean, I don't.
And they're funny.
Stoner humor is 50-50 with me.
That's true.
When I can go back to just like smoking whatever the fuck I want in my house, I'm definitely going to revisit them, because I just want to get like so high out of my fucking head that like I could barely see straight, and then fucking watch all of them.
I wouldn't say do all 25. I'd say stick with the main one. You've already seen Gingerweed Man.
No, I haven't.
You didn't see Gingerweed?
Nope.
Gingerweed Man, I did like. I thought.
I know you did. Gingerweed Man is awesome.
That hit that right.
No, the only one I've seen is Gingerbread Man or Ginger Dead Man.
Ginger Dead Man.
Yeah.
No, Gingerweed Man Well, see, if you got to watch the Evil Bong series to see his origin, but
You know, when I got Gary Busey's autograph there, you can see over my shoulder, it was funny. Because Busey is legitimately insane. It's not an act. And I grabbed that 8x10. He's like, "Oh, that's a good one. I play a killer cookie." And he looked at me like I had no idea what the movie was. And then, I sit down to take the picture with them. Somebody had walked by and like snapped the photo. No. He has to pay. He has to pay.
You talked about that before.
And it's funny. He's yelling at this guy, freaking out. He's like, "Oh, okay." Then he like puts his hand and we take the photo, and it was pretty funny. But if I find that, I'll bring it up maybe if we ever do a Ginger Dead Man thing.
Gary Busey and Meatloaf is my favorite Gary Busey memory.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Who would have thought Meatloaf would have died before Gary Busey too?
Sometimes you're just too crazy to die, I think. But yeah, that whole clip, and then it wasn't even Busey's fault. Like they found it. And he's like, "Well, I told you." He's like, "Shut the fuck up."
I remember watching that when it was on.
He was just too pissed. He wasn't going to apologize to him at that point.
Shit. All right. Well, on that note, I think if you're a fan of the series and like the humor, you're going to like this one. I felt like I wanted a better end of the franchise, but I think, it's hard to get someone like John Patrick Jordan now, since he's, kind of gotten out of this, genre. I'm glad they got him for what they did. My rating's been the hardest part because I do like this one. I had fun with it. It's not top. It's not like it's not even in my top 5 Evil Bongs probably. But I'm going to give it a 3.5. I think if you like the series, see, if I rate on my scale of how much fun I had, it'd be a 4. So maybe I should do what I always do. How much
and
fun
you
I
were
had.
also high while watching it too. And that might also be an issue too, to be quite honest, because I don't partake, and maybe you just
one
need
of these
to.
days, Dan.
Well, I will tell you like this. Because I stopped smoking at probably when I was like still in my 20s, maybe early 30s. Probably late 20s. I got too paranoid and I stopped. So most of these I never saw. I probably saw the original one when I was still smoking. And I saw Still Smoking while I was still smoking. But like 2 up till like probably the last ones, I wasn't high watch. I remember drinking watching Evil Bong 3D because I was excited it was in 3D. Yeah, straight edge Dan. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, probably just the last 2. But I did watch both of these because I watched this one when the kid was here. Then I watched it again extra enhanced. So I did watch it twice.
What have you shown him like a moonbeam, like full moon?
Not yet, because it's one of those things like he's still in like it has to be something he really gets hooked on if it's just people.
Pre-hysteria.
Pre-hysteria, brother.
Yeah. Well, it took me a minute to get him to watch Godzilla. So I finally did that. That was like my mission. And now he still wants that damn $50. Like literally the only one in the movie.
Did you show him Final Wars? Was
Yes.
that the one? Oh, okay. That's a good fucking intro. That was his first one?
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Yeah. Is he into it now? Or is he still
it's funny because I'm not trying to bring it up right now because he's gonna want that $200 figure again.
Fair enough.
I'm just kind of like keeping an eye out for something cheap.
Like I said, dude, that Godzilla series cartoon is really fucking good.
Ben just said I like Remote a lot. That's one I really enjoyed. I just rewatched it too, and I do. Yeah, it held up.
When's the next full moon sale? Because I always forget. Probably a while.
The only one I know every year is the Valentine's Day.
I think they do a 4th of July. It's not as good, but I think
they do a 4th and they do an October one too. But the Valentine's one's always the best one.
I hope that by the time the Valentine's Day sale is out, that they have the new Miskatonic U.
I hope they get the old one back in stock. That's one of like the.
Oh, is that out of stock?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got it stock on Amazon.
Oh no, you can still get it other places. but like that
More
was going to be one of the
expensive.
ones I was going to get with that selection. But
Yeah, for sure. I want that. I want both of those really bad. I hope they continue. They should. I mean, it seems like people like it.
yeah. All right. Well,
all right. Main event time. The
Yep.
one you've all been waiting for.
hey,
Men.
but before we do that, let's just remind everyone that after this, we're going to do the All the Boys Love Mandy Lane commentary. We'll probably have like a 5-minute gap in between. And if you're a Patreon, check your inbox to watch along. So, yeah. I know we'll say it again. I was just throwing it out there. Dan, kick off Men.
All right. So Men from director-writer Alex Garland follows a young woman who goes on a solo vacation to the remote English countryside following the tragic death of her ex-husband. But she unfortunately finds only terror. All right. So A24 Kruger, I know you wanted to go first on this. I'm very curious. We haven't talked about this at all, so I'm blind as far as anybody's opinion.
And we actually Kruger asked if we thought he was going to like it. We went back and forth, so I'm really looking forward to this one.
And I'm blind. I've only heard from one person, and it was a very generic liked it, didn't like it. So I don't even know what the reception is to this one yet. I've managed to avoid it.
See, I've going in, I've heard a lot already about it, like people's opinions, a lot of it being negative, but saying like the final act was really fucking crazy. So like I already knew going in like it was going to be of a slower pace, and I wasn't really expecting much, but I'll start by saying this: the acting I thought was fucking phenomenal. Jessie Buckley as Harper really made you feel her grief and her struggle throughout, her time on screen, and Rory Kinnear in just the multiple roles that he played was extremely fucking impressive. And I think the film really showed how ranged he is as an actor too, which was really nice to see. And it was also cool, like when he was playing, or they had his face on a younger character. That was definitely really fucking creepy the way they did it, and some of the visual effects too were really good. But I'll get into that more later. For me, like Harper's situation and her character and what she went through with her husband, that type of stuff really like hit home for me because I've been in similar situations like that. Not so much with the violence portion of the relationship, but definitely like the mental abuse. I felt that hard, and like it really, like being in that type of situation really fucking sucks. So to have what happened to her after the cause her husband's death, I mean, you could feel the weight of that on her, I think, throughout the film really well. And I personally, like having an ex die, I've been a part of that, and like I felt that type of grief too, because I had a very similar situation. I'll get into it in spoilers, but this was a movie that hit me on another level. And just watching her, deal with the situation, then she ends up in this, Airbnb to try to get away from it all. And we start to see this almost feminist outlook on all the men in her life and like all the men that she interacts with. It's all, themes of toxic masculinity. And usually like that would be a little bit off-putting to me, but it made sense in the sense of the story because of the way everything came around in the end. And I think just the way they played that off, along with just the scares, there's, a sequence you see in the trailer where she's going down this long tunnel. And growing up, I used to do shit like that all the time. I used to go in those tunnels. I always would be scared if somebody popped up. So that scene you saw, like that was actually pretty terrifying from personal experience, just being in that type of situation. And then, the one thing that starts to follow her, we got some definitely really creepy scenes with that entity and that guy. And he was just or I guess you could just call him that man. And man, just the way it built. And then the final act, I mean, holy fucking shit. It just Cronenberg style body horror is the only way I could really fucking describe it. I mean, this is more of, artistic take than, a scientific Cronenberg style, but definitely similar themes, and my jaw was dropped through the whole sequence. Like I was completely shocked because there was a little thing that happened before that was pretty fucking nasty. I was wondering, oh, is that what everybody was talking about? Okay, well, if that was it, I'm going to be a little bit disappointed. And then, holy shit, it just hit you right in the face, and I was shocked. Like I said, I had to pick my jaw up from off the fucking floor when the movie ended. And then the ending, the way it just ends right at the end, and you realize what actually happened. I'm like, holy fuck, this is really, really well done. And I don't think everybody may have got it, or other people may have just saw the whole final act as just unnecessary. But that whole final act, like, that showed it was a real horror movie. You know what I mean? I think so many of these artistic takes on horror forget that sometimes. And this didn't. It came for the nasty bits. You're going to be shocked. You're going to be grossed out. And by the end of it, I was completely thrilled. It's my favorite A24 film I've seen this year over X by far. It's already in my top 5 at least. I don't see it making it out of my top 10. And as far as Alex Garland goes, I haven't seen everything he's done, but just for like Dread alone, like him writing that screenplay the way he did, I'm a fucking hardcore fan of his. I need to revisit Annihilation. I saw it once and I just don't remember. I think I was too drunk.
I love Annihilation.
I never got around to it.
Yeah,
I still have to watch it.
I saw it once and I was too drunk for it. I need to watch that. I need to watch Ex Machina. And this just kind of gave me more of a push to go watch what he already has out there that I haven't seen, because I just already think highly of him from Dread and Men alone. And, you know, I hope this finds its audience out there, because I think a lot of people aren't going to like it. But for me, just somebody that, you know, really had a relatable situation happen to him, this hit home and also brought the body horror that, you know, I'm in love with, bringing out one of the most disturbing and I can't remember a scene of recent memory that's grossed me out and just disturbed me as much as what we saw. I mean, we'll get into the specifics and spoilers, but goddamn, man. So yeah, it's not a surprise that this is one of my favorite movies I've seen all year, and I highly fucking recommend it. But again, it's not going to be for everybody.
Yeah, I like it. Well, I'm glad you loved it, because I didn't know. It's probably one of my favorite A24 horror films in recent times, other than X, because I do think I prefer it's slasher. It's so good, but it's a different kind of film. This is kind of in between, because I love their non-horror stuff. Mm-hmm. I actually love that pretty much over the horror stuff in most cases. So this one kind of like felt like it was really a combination of the two styles. So I did enjoy that. I love Jessie Buckley. She's great in this. She was great in Lost Daughter. She was great in I'm Thinking of Ending Things. So when I saw she was in this, and this was right after we watched The Lost Daughter, so I was really excited for this. And yeah, I'm with you, Krieger. I love this too. I loved it even before I was already like, this is a great film before we got to that last act.
Yeah.
So that just not what I was expecting, took it a different way. And yeah, it kicks some ass. We'll just say that. Or something else. But
yeah.
Dan, what about you?
All right. So Alex Garland, big fan of the director. Ex Machina is fantastic. Annihilation, I also think, is fantastic. Read the Jeff Vandermeer trilogy of books as well, because so if you like Annihilation, it certainly expands. Dread, I mean, you know, it's hard for me to enjoy a comic, or I don't know if you consider him a superhero, but
he's a superhero.
I love that one. I thought it was great. So I'm going to be a little bit all over the place on this one, and we'll definitely talk about specific spoilers in our spoiler section, but I won't go there right now. So definitely 2-0 as far as his directing goes. Also, he wrote Sunshine. Not a lot of people talk about Sunshine. I like that one a lot too. This one is pretty on the nose for A24. in terms of the message, which the message, to be honest, is you get it in the trailer. It's definitely a men are shit flick. That's not a bad thing, but what?
But I'll argue that more in spoilers, because there's something at the end, man, where it kind of shows you why it's in that perspective, and it makes fucking 100% sense. It does. I don't necessarily.
I didn't say it didn't make sense.
I'm not. I don't think this is like necessarily like the hey, fuck you, man, you're pigs type of movie that like it's being perceived as, because it's there for a reason. It's showing why people think that way.
Yeah, but you can say that about any message in a movie. It's there for a reason, just not always a good one. Because this hits you over the head with this message as much as Black Christmas. But that movie,
it's a better movie. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But it hits you hard. It was in your face. It kept coming. But
it's interesting that you like the finale so much, because I think that's where the movie started to fail for me. I think the first, 45 minutes, the first half, whatever, the tension, fantastic. It starts off as an amazing suspense-filled movie. The shots, just not giving anything away that's in the trailer, but the shots with the guy out in the open in the tunnel and everything, that was handled superbly. So by no means am I shitting on this flick, although I'm still going to kind of shit on it a little bit, because it does beat you over the head pretty hard. Now, again, it's A24. If this were a Blumhouse film, I said it before, I probably wouldn't have even bothered going, because there's just too many misses on that front. Acting stellar. Rory Kinnear, also check out Penny Dreadful. He's amazing. And he's great in this. The acting, I don't have a single bad thing to say. Jessie Buckley's great. You do feel for her, obviously. And I've never experienced something quite like this myself, but I have known people who've, oddly enough, experienced very similar things. So I can understand people certainly being hit by this one, because it's a very common thing. You see a lot of similar things in relationships. Midsummer, I probably that's one that maybe hit me in a little bit too, so I get that. This one did. I didn't have the personal connection quite like you did, Kruger, but that first half is pretty damn amazing. I just think it all kind of falls apart once everything's revealed. And again, this isn't like we'll talk about it in spoilers, although it's not, in a way, it's not really spoiler heavy. There's a lot of metaphor. It's kind of a folk horror film as much as it is a body horror film. And there's certain symbols that you might recognize.
Yeah, it's not body horror until that final act, but I mean, holy shit, is that not? I mean, the thing specifically that I'm talking about, like, it's something you would see in a Cronenberg film.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. Great effects. The very last scene, I hated. In fact, if they had changed that a little bit, again, I don't want to give anything away, but I thought that final scene was just like, honestly, I thought it was a bad ending.
See, I liked it because I think it made sense for the message, but we'll get into it in spoilers.
Well, yeah, I'll just say this. Jessie Buckley, great actress. The character doesn't do a whole lot. Kind of just a victim, and we'll get into that more.
But that's the point. Like,
I get it, but I think for the movie, towards the end, there should have been something that wasn't there. But yeah, there's a lot of people, I'm sure, that will be like looking for meaning in this. I don't think it's that complicated. I know one argument I guarantee people are having right now that I think I actually agree with you there. But yeah, again, I don't want to give it away.
All right.
It's more simple, I think, than you realize if you're paying attention to it. But man, I gotta be honest, I did feel the hammer, and I thought it was just a little over the top at times. Much better movie than Black Christmas, but
I'll be honest, I was gonna give you shit if it didn't bother you at least somewhat, because you were gonna call it out on everything. But
I'm a fair man, Todd. Just because
I know I was curious where you were going to land on this one. If you were going to overlook it, I was going to give you major shit.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's rate this. That way we can get right into that shit
Right.
and spoilers. So
yeah, we're going to talk a lot more about it, guys. But yeah.
All right. So me, I'm a 4.5 out of 5. I was so close to giving it a 5, but I do think like 4.5 is respectable, and that could grow over time. But like I said, A24 right now, like this year especially, they're winning me back over. They kind of lost me last year with some of their horror films, but this year they're back in business. So I say definitely check it out and just be a judge of yourself. I don't think you're going to regret watching it.
Okay. For me, this is just before I rate it. One last thing. I think this movie, and I'm really curious. After this, I'm going to look at other critics' reviews because I'm very, very curious. I think there's going to be two camps. If you think men, the patriarchy is the most evil thing in the world, I think you're going to fucking love this. If you're kind of tired of that hammer hitting you in the head on everything, you're not going to like it as much. I'm kind of in between because goddamn, I love the first half. I think it really starts to fall apart at the end. In spite of I get it, the good effects and everything, but the story falls apart in the end for me.
I get what you're saying with that too. I could have done the whole thing if we kept on that momentum of the first half. But the second half was so cool visually. But I do get where you're coming from.
Yeah, it really lost me hard though. So I'm giving it a 2.5.
Oh, wow.
It might be a 4 for that first half, but it really, for me, it lost me a lot towards the end. But I think you're going to have all kinds. It's going to be some's favorite horror movie of the year, and it's going to be some's worst horror movie of the year. So you're going to have a lot of passionate opinions. Which, hey, check it out for yourself. See where you fall. This is the lowest I think I've rated an A24 movie in a while, though. But what say you, Todd?
I was going back and forth between a 3.5 and a 4.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna go with the 4 because I did have a good time, but I do agree that first half is better, but visually that second half is awesome. So I'm kind of like in between you and Kruger.
Yeah, and just looking at some of the chats, it is much better made than some of the other hammer to the head flicks. But like I said, and I'm glad you pointed that out, Todd, because I'm fair. I did feel the hammer kind of repeatedly whacking me. And that might not mean, like I said, you know who you are.
But to be fair, it was obvious that hammer was coming from the trailer.
Yeah,
So,
you know what? I didn't necessarily think so. I was like, this might be something completely different.
The movie's called Men. It was coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get to spoilers because we're going to get a bit more specific with the loves and hates on this one. If you do not wish for men to be spoiled, now would be the time to bow out once you hear the sirens.
But before that, Dan, why don't you tell them what we got coming up?
Right after this, 5-10 minutes after the show concludes, we will have a live commentary for All the Boys Love Mandy Lane. So for no specific reason, I don't know what happened today, but some
of us still love Mandy Lane. So
yeah, some of us do. Maybe not a certain somebody, but yeah. But anyways, spoiler alert. If you don't wish for
Okay.
Right.
So tell me why it falls apart for you.
Oh, well, number one, again, I don't want this to reflect on her acting because it's great, but she just never did anything for me. And at the end where she just sits on the bench with him, and I get the message they were going for. Again, men are toxic, all the toxic traits of the different versions of these men who were aspects of the husband. Plus you had the green man pagan mythology and all that, which was, interesting. But she did nothing. The ending almost felt like just a gag where it's like, men pops up on the screen. I just wanted your love. I hated that. I would have rather it just ended with the body horror stuff, which visually was very cool. I checked out of the story.
Okay, here's my thing. these men, the way they're acting, I don't necessarily think these are actual fucking people in the way they're acting. This is the way she's perceiving them because of the toxic traits that her husband left on her, and then him exiting the way he did. This is the hold on, let me finish, bro. This is the way she's seeing every single man in her life. That's why there's like a child in this thing, and he's acting like a fucking like a little bastard. He's acting like a little bastard, and like with that, and also Jeffrey's character, he's acting nice, right? But in the end, that character ends up being murdered by her because of her seeing more toxic shit in him. I don't think necessarily even did anything wrong. She ran his ass over and dragged his body into the fucking house. That's what the ending showed was that this was all the shit in her head and the way she was seeing everything, and it caused her to kill this guy and bring him inside the house and go fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the way I interpreted the whole thing. So not necessarily this is just all these guys just acting like dicks for no reason. It's the way she's seeing every man in her life because of the abuse she entailed from her husband, and because of him killing himself or falling, or maybe she even fucking killed him. That's what I've been thinking about, is like maybe that didn't even happen. She just pushed this motherfucker off after he hit her, and she's feeling guilt because of that, and she's been telling that story to everybody, and that's what's weighing in on her. There's like different things you can interpret it with the story, and I like that. I'm kind of thinking about that after, maybe she just pushed her husband off the balcony after he did that shit.
The only problem with that theory, though, the one hole poke I have for that is that's not the movie they were trying to make. It was men are fucking pieces of shit.
But I don't necessarily think so, because I think when you show her and the aftermath of what she did to that one guy, Jeffrey, she obviously ran him over, dragged his fucking body and put it up on the couch, and was probably talking to it like it was her ex-husband, like a crazy person. I think that is what the message was. Like, I would love to watch a full commentary so Alex Garland can explain every single little thing, but that's what I got out of it. And then to rewind to the whole reason why this resonates with me, when I was 17, there was a girl I dated that used to threaten me with killing herself all the fucking time, anytime we would break up. And we eventually broke up, and about 3 months later, I'd found out she had dated a couple other guys, but she did end up killing herself. And that fucked my brain up really bad for a while, because like you're kind of thinking, if I would have stayed with them, maybe they would, still be around. And feeling that guilt and that weight of that on the shoulder of Harper's character, I felt that majorly just being a part of that situation. And just having something that traumatic happen to you, I mean, it really weighs on your fucking soul and basically consumes your whole life. And I think that's kind of another thing the story was bringing out, was that like it's consumed her to where every man that she sees, she just sees him, because he has indebted her in this, horrible fucking guilt. That, and again, if we're there's different theories you can go with the story too. Like I already said, maybe he did try to kill himself, maybe he fell. That's all up into interpretation as well. We don't ever know the true answer to that story, if he fell or not. I mean, maybe you could think maybe he did because of the way he was looking at her, but you really don't know.
Or he was just trying to get back in the house by, she doesn't know. Yeah.
And also the one thing that I also like, the thing that really resonated with me with the way she's seeing her husband and everybody, is why every person's ankle and their fucking hand was split open. The way the husband fell, his hand got split open by one of the spikes on the gate, and his ankle was broken. So that's why she was seeing every single person like that. And then last but not least, the effect of watching weird tree man that's been sticking fucking branches in his goddamn head become this impregnated thing and then give birth to a human being to only give birth out the human being's back and then birth out the mouth. And I also like there's something that somebody has mentioned, and this is a theory out there talking about how like each birth got more and more unnatural, talking kind of putting on how like both genders are required to procreate, and that's why each birth got more unnatural after each one, like by the end the guy's coming out feet first out the dude's mouth and shit.
Yeah, the green man symbol is of rebirth and cycle of growth sort of thing. I mean, I kind of just took it as entity as far as them all looking the same and her not realizing that. I think that was just for us. I don't think there's a whole lot more to that. I'm sure a lot of people are wondering about that, even from the trailer, where it's like you're not seeing that they're all the same, but that's more for us, the audience. I think it was the entity. They all had traits, as you said, of the husband and injuries and all that stuff. Beyond that, I mean, again, I think Alex Garland had a perfect record for me. Look, we're still talking about this movie, so there's obviously something there. There's a lot of things you can take from it. And I wish I liked it more. I really did, but
that scenario Kruger laid down, where like what the really, she dragged the body in, she was like sitting there talking to it or whatever. Now, if it would have went that route instead of this over the top, body horror, do you think you would have liked it better? Because it goes from a small, simple picture to something else, and I don't argue.
Oh yeah, look, it's a great suspense film for 40 minutes, whatever. I was really, really into it. I was like, oh, fuck, Garland's hit another home run. And it does fall apart. Again, I'm not criticizing the body horror. I mean, effects-wise, very cool. Like the birth after birth, all that.
The way that guy's arm was split, too.
Like that was great.
The priest washing his hands separately too.
The priest,
that was awesome.
Yeah, the hand split was really cool. Again, no issue with the effects. It's just the story for me. But the vicar, if he was still alive, should have been played by Sean Connery. And if you watch the movie, you get that. It's okay sometimes. I don't do it good, Sean Connery. But,
it was better than I expected. I'll say that.
I mean, again, I'm curious to talk to a wide variety of people because, like I said, this one, like most A24 films, to be honest, I'm in the love it camp more often than not. This one, I have to be honest, it just didn't do it for me. I don't think Blumhouse is capable of making this film still, even with the faults, though, because despite the mallet to the head, men are pigs stuff for me, that first half was still damn good, and I don't think Bloom has that in them. But you're right. Like, I hate to say it for me, and again, I don't want to shit on any. I know there's going to be somebody that will listen to this show and be like, "Fuck Dan, this is the best horror movie."
I think Kruger said "fuck Dan" already.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's cool.
You're used to that.
But
I've grown accustomed to it after fucking 2 years of the podcast.
It was maybe the most disappointing of the year for me. I really hope, and a lot of people were prejudging this, and you can go back and listen to some previous shows. I said, wait, it's A24. Wait, there's going to be more to it. For me, there wasn't. But hey, I still love you, A24. I will still even pick this movie up eventually, but it's not in that top tier of The Witch and Lighthouse, of course, Hereditary. I mean, goddamn, it's just not in that league. But Alex Garland's still a great filmmaker. I don't think the story quite came together for me in this, but I look forward to everybody else's reviews. And I know I say this every show. Whatever your opinion, please do weigh in the comments. We like interacting with you. If you think I'm full of shit or any of us are full of shit, by all means, I really do like to debate these films.
That's all right. Between this and Suncoast, we're probably on some shit lists tonight.
Suncoast, I'm not on any shit.
No, I'm saying for both of us. I'm not saying you on Suncoast.
You just shit on a lot of childhood, sir.
Well, I'm sorry. I mean, I'll be good.
And Dan shit on all over their trauma.
Sorry, my bad. But yay, men! I'm just gonna say it. Yay, men.
Dan's always worried about getting canceled, yet his misogyny is showing. So
I know we're all pieces of shit, Todd. Didn't you see the movie, Todd? I actually for a second pictured it just being all you. Like I think.
Well, then that would be awesome. Then it'd be a 10. Fuck that.
If the priest would have did something to completion, Todd would have gave it an easy 5.
You would have had to do the nude scene though, Todd. I don't know if you do nudity, but
we'll just stick your hat over it.
It's so simple, but that shot where all of a sudden you just see him in the background walk across the window, like you felt the danger. You felt the tension.
Reminded me actually of Signs. When you're seeing the alien in certain shots of the movie, it's like just in the side of the window, and specifically when that guy's trying to grab through the mailbox thing or the mail slit. In Signs, there's a scene where the alien's trying to grab under a door and it gets his fingers chopped off. It looked like the same shit. How do I reverse my vote?
Okay, Ben, is this because some of us liked Men or some of us did not like Men?
Probably because I liked it. But
probably because of Suncoast.
Yeah, I don't know.
Was Ben in the pro Suncoast camp? Or
no, Ben was on the team of Suncoast is overpriced. He was on Todd's team.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, yeah. Well, unfortunately, we won that. But yeah, you can.
You didn't win that they were overpriced. You can't argue that they were overpriced.
No, I said we won. You can't reverse a vote now.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying you won your argument.
No. Well, I think I did that too.
And honestly, if you did, we still had enough to win.
Damn.
But yeah, whenever you guys see Men.
Oh, no, Ben loved Men.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought I saw.
No, he said I love Men. The movie was okay.
Oh, okay. All right.
Shout out, Ben.
Shout out.
Dan loves Men too.
Yeah, I'm really eager to listen to some of the other podcasters and see what they think. I don't think anybody at Region Free has gone to see it.
Oh, dude, fucking! I already know they're gonna tear this shit apart.
No, it depends. I don't know about Lauren. Piz won't like this.
No.
It'll be more dislike than likes, but I don't know. Lauren, I 50-50 on this one.
I figured going into this that like I would be one of very few opinions, but I'm actually surprised, Todd. That
I thought you'd hate it.
Yeah, I thought Todd like
the first half was so strong, and the more Dan talked about it, if it would have kept that momentum, in the third, I probably would have gave it a 5.
Can I be a piece of
last
shit
half
for a
was
moment?
so cool. That
Right.
last half was so cool.
Yeah,
that I still liked it, but they did feel like two different movies. Dan,
am I a piece of shit for sympathizing with Jeffrey over the tampon thing? Maybe I'm a piece of shit, but
oh no, I'm with you. I live with 2 women. He's 100% right. Yeah. You motherfuckers need to stop flushing that shit because you know why? You know who the fuck has to plunge it up? The fucking dude.
This is true. This is true. Yay, men! Round of applause. Anyways,
I love you women too.
Yeah, all you ladies that voted for us, we love you.
Incel Dan, not so much.
No. Anyways, stay tuned for All the Boys Love Mandy Lane. We're going to try.
Speaking of,
10 minutes. Also, like I said, guys, thanks again for voting for us. We really do appreciate it. We'll have the nominee vid and all the official thank you video and all that fairly soon. So stay tuned for all that. Lots of other goodies coming to the channel. I think it'll be a busy couple weeks with some bonus stuff. So yeah. And on that note, come watch All the Boys Love Mandy Lane with us.
We'll be over there in about 10 minutes. So yeah, check the link. All right. Good night, guys.
Good night. See you in
Stay
a
sick,
few.
motherfuckers.